This is part 2 of the discussion around criminalizing dollar withdrawals. And if you haven't watched that, please take some time and go and watch that video because I will be building on it in this one. Here are my thoughts. Right now, the discussion is around making sure that people do not save in dollars but convert their dollars to Kenya shillings. And this particular bill is intended to criminalize people saving their money in other currencies and not the Kenyan shilling. So it got me thinking. This is just the first step in the implementation of what is known as a central bank digital currency. So allow me to actually take you through what that means. The central bank digital currency is a currency that is, number one, cashless, and it is issued by the central bank. In this particular scenario, you would each have an account with money issued by the central bank and no longer use whatever you use right now in terms of mobile money or bank money. You'd actually have your account with the central bank. In essence, you would open an account with the government. There are so many things that are wrong with this particular arrangement, but allow me to give you a few right now. If right now we can criminalize using of the dollar, then that means that if the government would get the authority to issue programmable money, it can be able to program that money to do anything. I am telling you, in 2023, before the government ever actually comes out and tells you that it is rolling out a CBDC, when that happens, please, for the love of God, say no. Because once the government controls the money and can be able to program the money, the problems that we see now in terms of currency devaluation, the problems that we see now in terms of inflation will be tenfold. This is the reason why money is supposed to be a store of value. If one person is setting the rules on how money is supposed to be used around you, then that means that they have the power to change the goalposts. Think of it this way. When we were smaller, we would actually have one of our friends who would be the one who owns the ball, and his rules would rule the day. If he didn't want you on his team, then you would definitely not be on his team. The guy who owned the ball is the one who determined how teams would play. And if he decided the game was over when you were just about to score a goal, what would happen? The game obviously would be over. And that is what the government is about to do with the central bank digital currency. The problem that is there right now is this. The rules are being changed so slowly that you don't see the last domino falling. It is happening slowly by slowly that your money is being moved to cashless. The ability for you to actually own money is being taken away from you slowly by slowly. But the second effect of having a central bank digital currency, the government can actually decide when your money expires. Just in the same way that right now they are attempting through this bill by the Rongo MP to make it illegal to hold dollars for 45 days, when the central bank digital currency comes along, they can put a cap on how much you can have as savings. It doesn't matter what production you have done. It doesn't matter how much money you have made. The government through the CBDC can actually tell you, you know what, 100,000 is the maximum you can hold. And any money you have held in the past can expire, just the same way that your bonga points would expire. That is what they would want to do with money. But the third biggest danger of a central bank digital currency, it completely erodes privacy. Any money that you make is in the full eyes of the government. Now, I know sometimes people come about and say, but if you're not doing something wrong, why would you be afraid of things being seen? And I tell you this, it is in your right to be able to do your own things that you want without having the oversight of the government. People in the government, more so the governments of these days, think that they know better than the populace, and hence they want to make decisions on behalf of the populace. Why? Because we are not bright enough. They are brighter than we are, and so they should make the decisions for us. What a load of hogwash. You cannot put the power of money with the government. There needs to be check and balances. And the day that the central bank digital currency ever sees the light of day and is adopted by citizens, that is the last day you will ever have freedom. So what can you do at this point to be able to stop this? Number one, I want you to go and actually research and learn about Bitcoin. All the things that you may have heard that are negative about Bitcoin, I want you to know and look at who was saying it and understand that every single person who talks about every single thing must have an agenda, me included. And my agenda is this, that you can be able to pass wealth for you and your children and your children's children. Money is supposed to store value. The way our money is and the money supply, the way it is programmed right now, it erodes the value. And that does not even need to be said. What is the price of unga at your place today? What was the price 5 years ago? Does that even make sense for you as a consumer? It doesn't. What was the price of fuel 5 years ago? And what is the price of fuel today? Does that make sense to you as a consumer? And with the expenses that are going up as they are, try and extrapolate 5 years from now. And do you have a way for your income to be able to take care of you 5 years from now? Are you employed at a place where you can actually be able to comfortably say that as they raise my income the way it is going in 5 years' time, I'll still be able to afford the same standard of living that I can today? This is what you need to do in order to be able to pass wealth to your children and your children's children. You need to find and store your money in a form of currency that is not controlled by any government, that is not in the purview of any government. And that, by all means and purposes, is Bitcoin. Find out how you can be able to do what is known as self-custody of your Bitcoin. You can buy Bitcoin on an exchange, well and good, but don't keep it there. Make sure you have a place where you keep it offline, and that way you'll be able to stop all this madness that is happening around you. If you can be able to put 5%, 10%, and as much as you can of your wealth and save it in an incorruptible currency, that is Bitcoin, then when the CBDCs roll around, you will still be able to hold your head up high and stand against tyranny. Now that's something for you to think about.